Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn about dictionaries in Python. So friends, when we refer to the word dictionary, what comes to our mind? It's a book that contains thousands of words and we have a description against each word that describes the meaning of the word. So we can consider these individual words as individual keys and the meaning or description of the word can be considered as the value for that key. And the dictionaries in Python follow the exactly same analogy. A dictionary in Python is a collection of key value pairs which is mutable, and a dictionary does not necessarily maintain the insertion order of elements. So let's flip to Jupyter Notebook and let's see how we can create a dictionary in Python. So there are mainly two ways to create a dictionary. The first way is to use the dict constructor. So let the name of the dictionary be di and we will use dict, and inside the constructor we will pass the key name and then we will assign it with a value. Let's say it's ABC. So this is the first key and this is the value of the first key. Now similarly we will pass another key. Let's say it's email and this is equal to, let's say, abc@gmail.com, and let's say country equal to India. Fine. Now if we print the dictionary and run the cell, it gives us the desired result. That is, this is the first key and this is a value for that key, this is the second key and this is the value for that key, and this is the last key, country, and this is the value of the key. Fine. Now instead of using this pattern, that is key name equal to value, we can also do it in another way. So we can do it by passing a list of tuples inside the constructor. So this is a list and this list will be a list of tuples. And what will be the contents of a tuple? A tuple will consist of the key name and the value corresponding to that key. So this is our first tuple, and inside this we will pass the key name and the value. So this is our first key name and this is the value corresponding to that key name. So we are passing these two things in a single tuple. Similarly, we will create other tuples as well, and inside this tuple will pass another key name and the value corresponding to that key name. And this is the third tuple. It will also consist of a key name and the value corresponding to this key name. So inside the dict constructor, we are passing a list of tuples and each tuple is consisting of a key and a value. Fine. If we again print the dictionary and run the cell, we again get the desired result. Now between these two approaches, I would always recommend you to use this approach. Now let me tell you why. Suppose instead of using a string key, suppose you want to use a key which is an integer. Suppose you want to pass something like this, 0 and then some string or some value. So in this approach you can do this easily. If you run the cell, you can easily do it. You can see that an additional key is there and this key is 0 and the value corresponding to that key is some value. Now can you do this thing in this approach? if you want to do it like this, 0 equal to some value, will Python allow us to do that? Let's see. Let's run the cell. Okay, we have just missed a comma here. Let's give it and let's see whether it allows us to do it like this or not. And you can clearly see that Python immediately raises a syntax error. So this is the drawback of this approach. In this approach, you cannot create a key which is an integer. But in this approach, you can easily create an integer key. So when you are creating a dictionary with a dict constructor, I would always recommend you to go with this approach. Now, there is another way to create dictionaries, and that is by using curly braces. So it would be like this, and if you just copy the entire thing here, so this is how you can create a dictionary as well. So you have to use the key value pairs like this: name of key colon the value, again name of key colon the value. So in this way, you have to mention the key value pairs inside the pair of curly braces. Now, if we again print the dictionary and run the cell, we get the same result. So in these two ways, by using the dict constructor, that is by passing a list of tuples consisting of key and value inside the dict constructor, or by using a pair of curly braces and then inside the curly braces specifying the key value pairs, we can create a dictionary. Now that we have seen how to create a dictionary, let's see how we can access specific elements in a dictionary. Let's say we want to access this element or this value. So to access this value, we first have to check what is the key name corresponding to this value. The key corresponding to this value is username. So what we have to do, we have to specify the name of the dictionary and then give a pair of square brackets, and inside the square bracket we have to mention the key for which we want to access the value. So this is the key against which I am trying to access the value. So if you print this and run the cell, you can see that we get the value corresponding to this key. So this is one way of accessing a specific element or a specific value from a dictionary. The other way to do this is to use the get method. There is a method called get for dictionary, and inside the get method also you have to mention the name of the key. Fine. And if you print this, we again get the same result. So we can access a value from a dictionary in two ways. First, by using the key name inside a pair of square brackets, and second, by using the get method, and inside the get method also we have to pass the name of the key for which we are trying to access the value. Fine. Now what is the difference between these two approaches? In the first approach, if you specify a non-existent key, that is a key which is not at all existing in the dictionary, then let's see what happens. So let's instead of specifying the key username, let's specify a string username 1. So there is no such key called username 1 in the dictionary. Now if we want to access this the value against this key and run the cell, you can see Python immediately gives us a key error. A key error simply means that this key is not present in the dictionary from which we are trying to access the element. Now let's try to do the same thing using the get method. And here we will specify username 1. And if we again run the cell, you can see it does not give you any error, rather it gives you none, which means it has not found anything against this key name. So if you want to avoid such errors, such key errors, when by mistake you are specifying a non-existent key name, then you should always go for the get method. If you go with this approach and then specify a non-existent key name inside the square brackets, you are gonna get a key error like this. Just like the way we can access an item using the square bracket and then specifying the key name inside the square bracket, we can also modify a particular item in the same way. And for that, let's say if we want to update the username with some other value, then we will simply use the key name and then assign the new value that we want to update it with. Let it be BCD, and now if you again print the dictionary, let's print DI. This is how, by using the key name, that is by specifying the key name inside the square bracket, you can also update a particular item in a dictionary. Now if you want to update multiple items in the dictionary, then there is a method called update, and inside that you have to pass all the key value pairs and enclose them in a pair of curly braces, just as you did in case of creating the dictionary, right? In case of creating the dictionary, you specified the key value pairs, and here also if you want to update some existing key value pairs and want to add multiple new key value pairs, you have to do the same thing. Inside the curly braces, you have to specify the key value pairs that you want to add or update. So let's say we want to update the key username to BCDE, we want to update the email to bcde@gmail.com, bcde@gmail.com, and we want to add a new key, let's say DOB, and let it be 05102004. Fine. Now if you run the cell, these two keys have been updated and this new key has been created, and we can verify that just by printing the dictionary again. So if you run the cell, you can see the key username has been updated to BCDE, the value of the key email has been updated to bcde@gmail.com, and the new key DOB has been added to the dictionary DI. So this is how, by using the update method, you can update the existing keys or add new keys to a dictionary. If you want to remove a specific item from a dictionary, there are again two ways to do that. The first way is just to mention using the del keyword and mentioning the key that you are trying to remove. Let's say we are trying to remove this entire item, that is this key value pair, then you just have to mention the name of the key inside the pair of square brackets and use the del keyword to remove this item. If we run the cell and then if we again print the dictionary, you can see the key username is no longer existing in this dictionary. So this is one way to do this using the del keyword, and there is another way to remove a particular key value pair from a dictionary, and that is by using the pop method. So Python offers you a method called pop, and inside this method you again have to specify the key that you are trying to delete. So let's say we are trying to delete this item. So the key for this item is country, and if we specify it here and then again print the dictionary, you can again see the key value pair, this key value pair has been removed from the dictionary. So in these two ways you can remove items from a dictionary. Now instead of deleting a specific key value pair from the dictionary, if you want to delete the entire dictionary, then you just have to mention the name of the dictionary after the del keyword. And if we run the cell, the dictionary has been deleted. Now if you try to access the dictionary, it will give you an error like this. Fine. As the dictionary has been deleted, that's why the Python is not anymore aware of the di variable. Fine. Now instead of deleting the dictionary itself, if you want to clear or if you want to remove only all the key value pairs inside the dictionary, then there is a method to do that, and that method is clear method. So let's reinitialize the dictionary with these values, this key value pairs. And now let's say we don't want to delete the dictionary, rather we want to remove all the key value pairs, and for that we have this method clear. Now if you print the dictionary again after applying the clear method on it, you can see it gives you an empty dictionary, that is a dictionary that does not contain any key value pair. Fine. Now if we want to access all the keys present inside a dictionary, there is a method to do that as well, and that method is the keys method. So this method returns you a collection of all the keys present in a dictionary. So if we just convert it to a list and then store the list in a variable, let's say the name of the variable is list of keys, and let's print this variable. And if we run the cell, currently it is giving us an empty list because just a while back we cleared the dictionary, that is we removed all the key value pairs from the dictionary. Now if we reinitialize the dictionary with this key value pairs and then if we again run the cell, you can see it gives you a list of all the keys present in the dictionary: email, country, 0 and DOB. So these are the 4 keys which are present in the dictionary. Now similarly, if you instead of accessing all the keys from the dictionary, if you want to access all the values from the dictionary, you just simply have to replace it with values. So the values method returns you a collection of all the values present in the dictionary. Let's rerun this cell and you get all the values present in the dictionary. Now instead of getting just the keys or just the values, if you want to access the entire key value pairs, then you have to use the method items. So this method gives you a collection of all the key value pairs present in the dictionary. Let's run the cell and you get the list of all the key value pairs present in the dictionary, and you get the list as a list of tuples, and each tuple contains the key as well as the value. Fine. Now if you want to iterate over this list of key value pairs, you can easily do that using a for loop. For x comma y in list of di.items. So list of di.items, this actually gives you the list of these tuples, and here you can print key equal to x, and then you can print value equal to y, right? If you run the cell, okay, we are getting this error because in our keys we also, in our key value pairs, we also have a pair which contains an integer key. So to avoid this error, using string formatting, let's use key equal to zero and value equal to 1. Here you will use dot, here you will use this dot format. Then inside this format method you have to pass x comma y. If you again run the cell, you get key equal to this and value equal to this. So this is how you can iterate over the key value pairs. Similarly, if you want to iterate using the keys method, you can do it like this. For here we'll only have x to denote the keys. For x in di dot keys, and here you will print x comma di dot get x, right? Because this is the key x and di dot get x will give you the value corresponding to the key x. Fine. Now if you run the cell, you again get the same output. Now, from the examples that we have discussed so far, you might have got an impression that a dictionary can only contain values of primitive data types like int, float, bool, string, etc. But that is actually not true. A dictionary can hold a list, a set, or even a dictionary as the value of a key. Let's see that in action. So let's have a dictionary called student, and inside this dictionary let the first key be name. So let the name of the student be XYZ, and then we'll have another key called details. In the details key, as the value of the details key, we will have a dictionary. Fine. Now this dictionary will again have two keys. The first key will be the class, that is in which class the student is currently studying. Let it be 11, and let's have another key called roll number. Fine. And let the roll number be something like B1234, and then okay, we have got an extra colon here. And then we will have another key called subjects, which will have a list, and inside this list let the values be English, and then mathematics, then social studies, and so on. Fine. So let it have two elements only. Let the list have two subjects only. So let's review this dictionary once again. The first key of the dictionary is name and its value is XYZ. The second key is details. Now this key, as a value of this key, we again have a dictionary. This dictionary again has two keys inside it, and the first key is class and the second key is roll number. So this dictionary student is having a key details, the value of which is again a dictionary, and that dictionary is containing two keys, class and roll number. Fine. And it also has a key called subjects, which contains a list. So let's run our cell. Okay, we have a problem here. Let's see what it is. And inside the roll number, we missed a quote. Let's run the cell once again, and it is running fine. Now if we print our dictionary, it gives us like this. We have name, details and subjects. Now let's say we want to access this key. So to access this key, first we have to access this key, right? Because for access, this key is existing inside this dictionary, and this dictionary is existing as a value for this key. So to reach till this dictionary, we have to access this key. So we have to write student details, right? Student details, and if we print it and run the cell, it gives us this dictionary, right? It gives us the inner dictionary. Now from this inner dictionary, we have to extract this key value pair or this value. So instead of printing it, let's store this in a variable called inner dictionary, inner dict, and then from the inner dictionary, we have to access this key to get this value, right? So inner dict class will give us our desired value, right? So let's print this value. And if we run the cell, we get our desired value. So in this way, we can access specific elements from a dictionary which is nested inside another dictionary. Similarly, if you want to access this list, you have to mention student and then the name of the key, that is subjects, and if you store it in a variable, let's say subjects, and then print the variable, it will give you this list. Now inside this list, if you want to access a specific elements, you have to access it through its index. If I want to access this, that is English, then I simply have to mention print subjects and then the index of the element that you are trying to access, and the index is 0. So if we print this, it gives us English. Now if you don't want to use an additional variable for this, you can do it directly like this, student subjects. So this part is giving you a list, and from that list you are trying to access a specific index, and that's what you are specifying in this square bracket. Now if you print this, it will give you the same result. Fine. So friends, that's it for this video. I have given you some exercise problems. Please try to solve all of them. You can let me know the answers of the first 4 problems in the comment section. The last problem is a bit on the harder side, so it's completely fine if you face any difficulty while solving these problems. I'll come up with the solution of each of these problems. If you have liked my video, please subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when I'll upload more Python and data science related videos. And please don't forget to like and share my video so that it reaches a larger audience and they also get benefited from it. Thanks a lot for watching.